This is Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer to ever exist. He's at the end of his career. He's played 2 seasons with Inter Miami and now he's looking into going into coaching. He's more than ready to hang up his boots and go into retirement. A lot of clubs did want him in America and in Scotland, but the Scottish teams stood out to Messi the most because a lot of Scottish managers have done well in the Scottish League and gone on to take roles into the Premier League, like Steven Gerrard going to Villa even though that didn't work out. Brendan Rodgers to Liverpool, then to Leicester. He'd done quite well at Leicester, now he's back at Celtic. Ange Postecoglou going to Spurs, doing well at Spurs. Martin O'Neill leaving Celtic to go to Villa. Quite a few teams in the Scottish Premier Division wanted Lionel Messi. Obviously, he's a big name. He'll bring a lot of attention to the club. It was between Ross County, Dundee and Motherwell, and he decided to go to Motherwell. In this series, we're going to be making new manager Messi one of the best managers of all time, hopefully managing his beloved Barcelona and Argentina, winning them a World Cup. I'm going to be doing this as a series, so there's going to be a lot of different episodes of this, so stay tuned. As soon as Messi got to Motherwell, he wanted to implement a style of play, and obviously it had to be tiki-taka. It's the way he was taught football over in Spain, so he's gone and used it for this Motherwell side. Hopefully they can do well with it. As you can see, Motherwell aren't doing too bad in the Scottish Premier League. Hopefully Messi can come in and get him higher up above Hearts, Hibernian and St Johnstone. He's had a little play around with the squad and this is the best he's got. He realised we didn't really have many wingers, so we've gone for a narrow formation, which Messi probably isn't used to considering he's played on the wing most of his career, despite when he played as centre forward. But it's a new system at Motherwell. Hopefully it can get him working. And Messi has took over in December. He's got 3 games before the January transfer window where he can learn stuff about his squad and see where he needs to improve. His first game as Motherwell boss would be against a team that he nearly joined, Dundee, and they'd go 1-0 down quite early on here, which wasn't ideal for Messi. Dundee would double their lead with this goal right here. Messi's team just couldn't get the ball away and they've capitalised on it and put it into the back of the net. But the Motherwell players weren't done there. They needed to show Messi that they're going to fight for him and they'll get a few chances in the first half before they eventually broke the deadlock. A well-worked team goal shows promising signs of what Messi's trying to implement into the team. Dundee would go ahead and score another goal, which would give Messi his first loss in his first game as Motherwell manager. Next up, Motherwell had Hearts, and they'd go down early on here after a mistake at the back, and it was an easy goal for Hearts. They'd then go 2-0 down here, pretty similar goal to be fair, and it shows that the defence is the problem, but the thing that's scaring Messi is the most is that they can't score goals. And they ended up losing that game 4-1. Next up was the biggest test out of the 3, Rangers at Ibrox. This one was not going to get any easier than Hearts and Dundee. Rangers would go 1-0 up here. Danilo, the Brazilian, plays it into Todd Cantwell, who puts it into the back of the net. They'd then go on to get a second, and they would end up getting a 2-0 defeat away at Ibrox. Messi's realised a lot of problems at the club so far, and goal scoring is one of them. So he's gone in for former Southampton man, who is a free agent, Sofiane Boufal. He's got experience in the Premier League and the French League for Lille. It should be a good signing. And he's also signed Hungarian winger off the free agent list, Kevin Kusobov. This is how his team looks at the end of the January transfer window. It's safe to say the signings have strengthened the team quite a lot. Boufal and Kusobov should be good in this league. And the next game would not get any easier. Celtic away at Celtic Park. It's going to be a tough one for Messi's men. Motherwell would find themselves with a chance early on here. Spittle hitting it at Joe Hart, but it's showing good signs. And in the 18th minute, new signing Kusobov would get put through on goal. And of course, he scores to make it 1-0. A really good goal from the Hungarian, and he's showing promising signs. Celtic would bite back though 15 minutes later. Maeda at the back post heading it in. A really good goal from them. But that wouldn't matter though, because Sofiane Boufal would get the ball in the box and he'd capitalise on that chance to make it 2-1 to Motherwell, which would turn out to be a huge goal, giving Motherwell their first win under the Messi era. Next up would be Hearts, the team in the place above us in the league currently, and Sofiane Boufal would break the deadlock with a beautiful goal to make it 1-0 on the 53-minute mark. This guy, he's a really good signing. Then John McGinn's brother would go on to play it to the edge of the box. A lovely bit of football from us. Slattery into Miller, holding it up, giving it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell finds Sofiane Boufal in the box and he scores to make it 2-0. The new signings are cooking up a storm here for Motherwell. But they weren't done there. They fought to the last minute. Spittle plays it into the box, into McGinn. McGinn into Payton. Payton scores to make it 3-0 to Motherwell to get Messi another win under his belt. Messi's style of football is finally working for this Motherwell team and they're starting to get results to show for it. They then go on to beat Dundee 3-0. 4-1 win against Ross County. A 2-1 win against St Johnstone. And a 1-1 draw against St Mirren. These results all led up to the final game of the season where Motherwell would face Rangers, and if they won, they'd get into the second stage of the Scottish Premier League, and Sofiane Boufal would break the deadlock for them to make it 1-0. Rangers would go on to score a good ball from Connor Goldson over to John Lundstrom, the former Sheffield United man, finds that top corner, a beautiful goal from them. Kosobov will capitalise on the Rangers player dilly-dallying with the ball, he wins it. What can he do here on the ball? He finds Sofiane Boufal in the mixer and Sofiane Boufal puts it in the back of the net to make it 2-1 to Motherwell. These guys have been too good for us. Rangers would get a chance here. Danilo getting a shot off, and that's a good save from the keeper, but it wouldn't matter though because they go on to score from the corner 1 minute later. Connor Goldson putting it into the back of the net for them, grabbing the ball at 2-2. Rangers look to be on attack here, but Mugambi wins the ball and he finds Sofiane Boufal through on goal. Can Sofiane Boufal send Motherwell to the second stage of the Scottish Premier League? Yes, he can. He wins it for Messi's men in the last minute to send them through. What a turnaround Lionel Messi has made in this Motherwell team. Look at them together with the fans. It's like a community now. He's shown that his style of football does work and that he can beat the big boys. Motherwell would end up finishing 5th in the Scottish Premier League, which is really... Messi would want his team to get 4th place in the second stage of the Scottish Prem, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. They've got some big teams in there, though. It's going to be tough. Start the second stage of the Premiership with a game against Hearts, which we would lose 1-0, and then we'd go on to play Rangers, who we just beat in the league in the last minute to qualify for the second stage, and we know we can beat these, so it should be a good game. Kosobov on the ball 40 minutes in, hoping to break the deadlock. The Hungarian cuts in onto his right foot and wraps it into the corner to make it 1-0 to Motherwell against Rangers. What a goal from him. We'd get another chance here. I'm not going to pronounce that name, but he plays it into Boufal and it gets blocked by the Rangers defender. And they would go on to score 73 minutes in to get a point. And then we'd play Celtic at home. We'd beat them already before, but they go 1-0 up here with O'Reilly scoring the goal. We would get a chance at Boufal, which we'd back him to score, but he couldn't score. And at the end of the group stage, we ended up finishing 6th, bottom of the second stage, which is quite annoying. But you know what? It's only our first season, so I'm quite happy for it. But let's get ready for season 2. This will be Messi's first full season in control of the club completely. And the first thing he's going to do is sign a youth academy graduate and send a scout out to his beloved home, Argentina. We want to bring some Argentinian stars into this team because they can link with Messi, they'll know the gaffer, and they're going to want to play for him. Messi also did sign Simone Weld and Carney Chukwuemeka on loan as well, which are 2 big signings for the club. George Baldock also did join on a free. He'll be fitting in left back for us, not right back. And this is how our team would be looking like at the end of the January transfer window. It's not too bad, to be fair. And the first game for Messi's full season in charge would be at Celtic. We had an early chance with Sofiane Boufal putting it straight at the keeper, but they'd managed to score off the corner. Casey getting the ball at the back post and sticking it into that bottom corner. A goal which you love to see. You love to see a scrappy goal like that against Celtic. Hopefully we can get all 3 points. Spittle into Carney Chukwuemeka on his debut. Into Sofiane Boufal. The star man makes it 2-0 to Celtic and a very good assist for Chukwuemeka on his debut for the club. New signing Wold would go away and give a penalty though, which was very annoying. Celtic would have the chance to make it 2-1 and they took that chance, sending the keeper the wrong way to make it 2-1. And Spittle would have an opportunity to dead the game off, scoring off the right, but he missed. But it didn't matter, we picked up all 3 points at Celtic. Huge result. Moving on to the next game, Aberdeen, which is another big game. The top 6 teams, they're all going to be big games, and it wasn't a good start. Our youth academy prospect, O'Neill, got injured. This guy, he's got like 96 potential. Despite his injury being pretty bad, we did go 1-0 up. Carney Chukwuemeka scoring the goal against Aberdeen at home. I feel like we've played a lot of home games in this, like in the clips that I've shown, and I don't mind home games. We get a good result there. It's good for the fans, good for the confidence of the players, and we're going to make it a fortress. No team will want to come here. But Sofiane Boufal lost the ball near our box, and it's led Mugambi to give away a penalty, and Aberdeen could have a chance to level the scoreline here. The player stepped up, and he would put it in the back of the net to make it 1-1, which is very annoying. Spittle would get a chance. He plays it into Boufal. Boufal obviously is going to bag from there. You bet your house that this man will score anywhere inside the box and just outside of it. He is just that guy. And Kosobov, I don't even know how I said his name then, but he went on to finish the game to make it 3-1. Another huge result for our season. Cracking goal from the Hungarian. Next up was Rangers. Messi's boys would find themselves 1-0 down. Tom Lawrence, I think, the former Derby man. Is his name Tom? But he scores to make it 1-0 to Rangers. I knew this game was going to be tough. They looked very good this season. And Ioannis Hagi, son of George A. Hagi, or Jorge, however you want to say it, scores to make it 2-0. An absolute screamer from him. Yeah, they're just a tough team to beat. We did get a goal though. Sofiane Boufal putting it into the bottom left corner. Obviously this man's going to get on the score sheet, but that wouldn't really matter though. Rangers were going to get a third and absolutely destroy us in that game. We had no chance against them. Here he is, getting off the bus. The top scorer in the league. This man on a free agent. got to be one of the biggest bargains of all time, and he's showing that already this season, scoring 8 goals. Carney Chukwuemeka would get a chance, but the keeper would come out and claim it. Miller would find Kazab off, and the Hungarian would go for a shot, but it would just go wide. But that wouldn't matter though, because Spittle would get an opportunity to score, and he'd put it in the back of the net to make it 1-0. What a goal that is from Spittle, coming in on the right wing after O'Neill got injured, which is very annoying. He's doing a very good job. And obviously, Buffal, he had to get his name on a score sheet. It wouldn't be a game without him scoring, would it, realistically? This man is on absolute fire, hence why he's top goal scorer in the league. He makes it 2-0. And Hibs are a good team in this, so we've done very well to beat them. We're absolutely destroying them. Carney Chukwuemeka scoring yet another goal. This man has been very good for us this season, and I'm loving it. Motherwell are on fire at the moment, and Messi's proving step by step that he could be one of the best managers in the world. This is just the beginning. This is just the start. Getting a really bad team in Scotland, making them a good team, challenging teams like Rangers and Celtic, which we have done in the past 2 seasons. But Rangers would go 1-0 up. I mean, they slapped us up in the first game, and I didn't expect anything else in the second game. Todd Cantwell scoring a very good goal. We would get a chance, so Spinell finds Chukwuemeka into Miller on the edge of the box, and that is a cracking little finish. That is from the centre mid. I'm not even going to lie, it was a really good goal. But that goal would go on to mean nothing. Todd Cantwell getting another goal, and Raskin would go on to get one as well, and we'd end up losing that game 3-1, which was quite annoying. It was a pretty tough game. Rangers are a tough team, so I don't mind. But it was that time again. The Championship group, the second stage, we're obviously in the top 5. We'd start off a game against Celtic, and we'd go 1-0 up with a penalty here. Spittle steps up to take it, and he'd stick it into that top left corner. I knew he'd score. He's just that guy. O'Reilly would score a penalty for Celtic, though, which was unfortunate. But we'd go on to get another penalty. Spittle, and I've absolutely red-timed it, and he skied it over the bar. And we get a draw against Celtic. And at the end of the group, we did end up finishing 5th. And I really did expect that, to be honest, because, I mean, we were like 10 points behind anyway. And we couldn't really beat any of them teams in the season, apart from the one game against Celtic. So it was quite annoying. But you know what? I think Messi's first 2 seasons as Motherwell manager has come out really good. And I think next episode, he could be ready to move on to a new team, and if not, maybe spend another half a season with Motherwell. We'll have to see. But if you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the Journeyman career mode.